Welcome to Season 2 of the Biz Show, sponsored by InvestQuire. And now, your hosts, Barry and Lisa.
Hi, good morning, Barry.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Hi there. I'm doing really good. It's been a really busy week.
Yes, it has been a busy week. We've had a lot of potential buyers for some of the businesses that we're selling reach
Those
out.
buyers
So
are really hot to trot. I couldn't believe the amount of buyers contacting us and just ready to roll in the new year, 2025, trying to make those investments happen.
they are.
It's
Absolutely.
exciting for our sellers, right?
Yes, it is. Well, let's jump into this podcast. So this one is we're going to be talking about um, how to market on a budget, right? So marketing basically 101, but how to do it on a budget and get big results with small spending, right?
A lot of companies just don't even do marketing because they're afraid they don't have a budget for it. And so then they never get their advertising and marketing out there. But there's a way
Well,
to do
yeah,
it.
you could do budgeting for as little as $5 a week to hundreds of $1,000s, right? So of course you're not Coke or Nike. You're not going to spend those millions of dollars in marketing.
Right.
Um, However, you got to get the word out, right, about your business. You're open for business and you need customers. We all struggle with that. We struggle with that, right?
Right.
It's
But
just a part of doing business.
it's knowing how to do it and what's available to you at no cost. And then, it's also learning how to put the ad online because I struggle with that sometimes. I just put a Facebook ad on yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Am I doing it right? Am I targeting the audience? It's really cool though. If you once you learn it, then you could use it very easily.
I'm really good at creating the ad, the graphics, the design, the wording and stuff like that, but I suck at keeping it going and stuff like that, right? I can pump out all the brochures and all the ads on a daily basis. But
But putting it on a marketing platform and being consistent with it is the key, right?
it is. And we're going to talk about that and help our subscribers learn, how to best use this for their advantage. So the first and easiest one to do is Google Business Profile because everybody goes to Google and they search for something, right?
You want to
And
pop up,
and so
right?
you want to pop up. The things that you do need is you need
Location.
a business name, a telephone number, and a business address,
Yes.
right? So
Working
those
from
are
your
the things you need.
home, then you'd have to use that one, or you can actually get approval to not have a location because some people have, they don't want to expose their home address or they do work in the marketplace and, in a car, they're servicing their industry all over the place. So you may not have a business location. But
Good to
I
know.
had to actually had to do this with Google and I had to get approval from them to not have a location on my business profile.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that you could do that. Yeah, you schooled me.
Yeah, it's possible, but don't get stuck there. There's always a way to make it work. So just you have to submit for an approval if you do not want to advertise your business location.
Right. So first and foremost, it's free, right?
Yes.
You don't have to pay anything. So there's your first scope, and you need at least a telephone number, a website, and you definitely need a website, right? Because how can Google give people information if they don't have anything to give? Um, but in there, right, just make sure that you keep it up to date, right? If you change telephone numbers, you change addresses, your hours change or whatever, just make a mental note or some type of a note to go in there and modify it and update it.
I'm going to check on mine today. See how
There
mine's
you go. See,
over
it's
there.
always a good reminder, right?
Well,
Um,
what's cool about it is you can do it for use it for your testimonials and reviews of your past clients. So I always want to send them a link, or you'll always want to send them a link to pop a little statement or sentence about your business and ask them to use keywords so that you can create the algorithm for people to see your business online. keywords about your business, like, real estate or house, houses or whatever your business is, just ask your client to mention that in their statement or in their review so that it helps create your algorithm. And it's just a
Yes.
great way to have others be able to see that, hey, you got 5 stars and this is what, several people said about your company.
It's almost like a free Yelp.
There you go.
Right? So, and
Yeah.
you can promote your products on there. You can list events or whatever the case too. So, there's a lot of opportunity there for you to make sure that you go out there and you're being seen and heard.
And then Google offers you certain things where you pay for the amount of clicks on your business profile and they'll, try to sell you things once you create the profile. But it's up to you and up to your budget whether or not you want to take advantage of those things.
Yeah, they all do that. I mean, let's face it. If something's free, you are the product, right? So they're going to sell to you. I mean, Yelp does that, Facebook does that, Instagram does that. They're always trying to throw advertisement in your face
Yeah, and
because
just sit back, say no, until you're ready to invest in that and just enjoy the free aspects of it because you need to put your name out there. So make sure you're doing these basic things that we're talking about today.
right, definitely. So the next thing is email marketing, right? And sending out newsletters, brochures, staying in touch with your customer base. And there are a couple free tools, and then there are a couple tools that are not that expensive. And they can grow to be expensive. First one is MailChimp, right? MailChimp is free for up to 100 subscribers. So, you can go in there and you can send out newsletters
100,
and
500.
what's that?
Is it 100, Barry, or is it 500?
It's 500. Did I say 100?
Oh, yeah, you did. It's okay. Take another sip of coffee.
Yeah, actually, I'm drinking water today because I have to hydrate. I got to go give,
Oh,
I got a doctor's appointment to give some blood. So I got to make sure I hydrate.
oh, they don't want anything else in your system.
I'm
Yep,
fasting right now.
I gotcha.
No
So there's,
breakfast for me.
and until you're done with that doctor's.
Right. There's a couple others too, right? Uh, Brevo and ConvertKit. Those are all platforms where you can,
Create a
um,
marketing campaign.
yeah. Now, what do you need? You need email addresses, names, and stuff like that.
I know.
Uh,
You have to have an email address. Yes.
yeah, who you're going to send it out to, and then they need to opt in. So you can send this stuff out. The thing I like about these is there's a spam email campaign, and it's called CANN, and I forget what it stands for now, but it basically says that you should be able to opt out of stuff, and this is where these put down at the bottom unsubscribe, right? So if you don't want these anymore, it can unsubscribe them. They'll still stay in your list, but they're marked as do not send.
Okay. So that's a great way to sort out the ones that you should not be emailing to and take them off of your list or
Yeah,
and
and
not and not
it's kind of automatic, and it's on their side more than on your side. So that's a good thing.
nice. Yeah, you don't want to
Um,
piss off anybody.
yeah, no. Well, you don't want to spam anybody, and you don't want to get your email address or domain
Blocked.
name blocked, set up as spam, right? We actually had that with us at InvestQuire once, where we were sending out so much information and brochures and stuff like that. Um, they blocked everything, and I had to go in and reset everything and say, look, we send out a lot of stuff. That's our business. So,
Our
but
email got blocked. We were down for the day. I got to go to the beach.
woohoo!
Anyway, yeah, so it's CANN, Barry, and that's part of MailChimp,
Yeah, well, it's not part of Mailchimp. CANN is actually a organization
a separate entity. Okay.
that is about email spam, so on and so forth, right? So
So you're
it's kind of like
saying,
the guideline that everybody uses.
Okay. I don't
So,
know.
so what's the next one, Lisa? I mean, we've
Oh,
talked about Google Business Profile. We've
when you're
talked
doing,
about the email marketing.
yeah. So when you're doing the business profile and any social media platforms or even marketing on your website, people are on your website and you could create a pop-up so that it captures their contact information in case they want to learn more about a product or about your company. And that can go directly into your email or CRM system so that you can capture the buyer's content and then or contact information so that you could continue marketing to them and also giving them a call to find out how you can help them. So you want to make sure you have that set up in the back end of your email marketing so that or any of your marketing so that you can capture the person that is looking at all of your website and all of your platforms contact information.
Yes,
That is a very
definitely so.
oh, otherwise you're putting stuff out there and you're not able to capture the client.
Well, you capture the client and you don't really know what the client wants, right? So, on your website, you can actually track a client and see what they're clicking on, what they're looking at, and stuff like that. Um,
And as you
so through
progress in your
Google Analytics, right?
yes, yeah, then
Those
you
are,
could
are those are things that you can do. I mean, here's the issue, right? And this is where a lot of businesses, at least small businesses, kind of get tripped up is the fact that there's so many different tools and resources, and they don't necessarily all work in one encompassing suite of tools. They're a hodgepodge, right? Like for instance, the Google Business Profiles is one thing. Google Analytics is another thing. They don't talk to one another.
people have no idea. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it. Unless you're like have a marketing degree or have worked in the field, it's a very, there's so many things available and it's hard to absorb how they all work together. And so we're hoping to give you a couple nuggets on that. But for me, I mean, it's a full-time job to do your marketing sometimes. So you may want to hire somebody to set it up for you so that at least it's set up. And then you may have to pay, maintenance to maintain it or change the material that you're using on your platforms to keep it fresh and exciting, once every quarter. So that might be part of your marketing budget is just to hire somebody to do it. Otherwise, you could spend hours trying to figure this stuff out. But we're hoping to cover the basics so that it could get your mind thinking and get you thinking, hey, I need to do these basic essential items to, keep the client flow knowing about your business.
You hit the nail on the head there, right? You really, marketing is a full-time job just in itself. So
Yes.
if you're a small business, how many hats do you have to wear? I mean, you got to wear the CEO hat, you got to wear the salesperson hat, you got to wear the marketing, you got to do the service or sell the product. So there's so many different, and then you got to be the janitor at the end of the day and sweep and mop the floors and clean the bathrooms and everything else, right?
Well,
So,
not if you work at home. You could have your house be a mess.
well, true, true, true. I'm just
Just
saying
kidding.
that there's so many
Yeah.
different hats to wear. You got to choose what you're good at, what you're bad at, and yeah, definitely hire a professional to step in and do your marketing for you, at least initially, and then maybe pay some type of a monthly maintenance fee for them to keep it up to date, make the changes, so on and so forth. And those
Yes.
maintenance fees, it depends on how elaborate it is. Could be as much as $100 a month. I mean, as little as $100 a month. It could be, $5,000 a month, just depending on how elaborate it is. I mean, if it is a full-time job, then it's a
Well, then you
lot
have to
easier to
salary.
hire somebody to do it, a vendor to do it for you, than it is to hire an employee, because then you got employee taxes and payroll
Oh yeah,
taxes
just
and all
and then
the
you
other stuff, right?
right. Just to set you guys up, hire somebody to set you up that's somebody that has the experience. But I
Right.
always teach my sales team, I say, it takes, you need to cover the touches to a client to get them to become a client. Like you need to touch them in forms of doing a mailer. I remember back in the day when I owned a door and window business, and there was hardly any emailing going on, or there wasn't any, real social media but many years ago. So I created on a Word document a newsletter, a monthly newsletter about the company, about the latest product. I added a little section about my family and my growing children and how, little things that they were doing. Um, triumphant moments of their development. And to get to that personable relationship, I would always make it kind of fun and touch home to people's hearts, not just all about selling. But I would stuff envelopes and I would mail the newsletter to our network, to our farm, is what we call it in real estate lingo. And people would open an envelope, get my newsletter, and call me and say, "Oh my gosh, I was so happy to read about your family. And oh, by the way, I want to get an estimate for this." And so it worked. So that's one way to touch them. And then the other way, like Barry mentioned, is to set up your online presence through the Google Business Profile, through social media sites that we're going to be talking about, like Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter and all of those social media platforms. So we're touching them in many ways. And then, of course, the old-fashioned way that my sales team hates to do is to call people. So when you're using that lead magnet on the back end of your websites or your Facebook platforms, whatever your marketing is, and you're getting their phone number and you're getting their email and a little bit of information about them, you have to pick up the phone and you have to call them. And so when you're doing the combination of all of this marketing, you're actually going to be creating business. Isn't that what we all want?
This
So
is what we all want, and all of that it's just part of doing business, right? And the next part of it is probably the most heavy lifting of all. And I have done it many, many times, and that's the networking and the partnerships, right?
I love that
Because
part.
I do too. And the thing is it takes time, right? Because you have to go somewhere, you have to meet, whether it's a chamber mixer or a trade event, whatever the case might be, right?
Yeah.
But tap your local friends and family network, so on and so forth, right? There's local businesses, perhaps um, communities out there that might be, for instance, if you're a plumber, right? You might want to join the Plumbers Association. There's going to be some trade events and things like that. The LinkedIn groups, the profile, or the Facebook group, so on and so forth. Those are things you probably want to look at.
That's right. And then get on their list and they'll email you the dates when they have certain events. And yeah, put your face out there and make some relationships because you never know who you're going to meet.
Well, and here's the deal. You and I, right? We partner with a lot of different companies, and we've even got a few brokers that we work with, right? Yes, we're competitors, but we're also allies in the sense that they might have a business for sale. We have a buyer, so the two of us can connect, right?
Exactly right.
Or
Yeah.
they might have too much business and say, "Hey, can you help here?" And now you've got some work to do, right? And you get paid for it. So there's a lot of opportunities, untapped opportunities out there for people to take a look at.
And I think that's what people do on LinkedIn. They're networking behind the computer. So they're always looking for business partners. They're sending you emails through LinkedIn. And it's a great way to maybe find a partner, a business partner on LinkedIn, and become allies, like you said. So definitely use LinkedIn. I think that's a fantastic tool if you do not have the time in your schedule to drive to somewhere, and partake in a networking event in person. Definitely use LinkedIn. It's a big one.
LinkedIn is a great tool for that. However, I have to stress this.
Vet the
I,
company.
with my past experience and stuff, I probably get 200 messages a day. "Hey, buy my product. Hey, do this. Hey, do that." So I have to weed through all the things that aren't important to me, right?
Yeah, it's like
And,
picking out
and
of a hat. Which one do I want to talk to today?
well, yeah, and so the thing is,
But be different in
that's
your
time consuming,
approach. Yeah.
because now I'm sitting down and I've got 200 messages to go through. That's 2 hours worth of work.
Yes, to go through every single one. Exactly. That's why I always tell my team, be different when you approach somebody, talk to them like they're a human, not like you're trying to sell them something,
Oh,
because we're here to
yes,
make
yes.
the relationship. We're here to say, hey, I like, your experience and what you've done. Can you tell me how you got into that field and just get to know people,
I'm
just
always
see.
about building relationships, not, in finding customers, it's about relationship.
Yes, and those are hard for me. When I get that approach, it's hard for me to ignore them because, well, number one, they took the time, they took the time to read your LinkedIn profile. And so you're like, oh, they actually read it, and maybe they're looking to get to know me better for certain reasons. So then I do reply to those. when they're more personal like that. Yeah. So
Right.
that's that. And then what did we talk about? Oh, we were going to talk about guest blog posts and co-hosted webinars and shout outs. My friend is doing a webinar in order to capture an audience and have them connect with him. And he's created the whole entire webinar and is advertising it through Facebook and all the social media sites and hosting it to teach people and provide value. So I think that's
That
another great idea.
that's one of the items I would like for us to get into at some point.
I would love to do that. I think that would be fun. Yeah, he definitely motivated me because we sat down and had lunch and talked about what he's doing. I was like, that is brilliant. And it's available to you at very little to no cost. I mean, your time is worth money. So you do have to, prepare for the webinar and have good content and structure it and organize it and schedule it on your calendar. But it could bring you lots of business.
Right. Definitely so, and something that I would like for us to do too.
Okay, let's get on
Let's
that.
move on to the social media part. You had mentioned this a little earlier, right?
Yes.
About leveraging your social media, SEO, and SEO. I could talk for days on SEO. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff about it. It's not what it used to be. But anyways, let's talk about social media first, right? You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you might be on TikTok if it's still around
It's back up. Yeah,
for
but
75 days, I hear.
I know.
Um, so, and we won't go there.
A
That's
lot
a
of people do
whole,
podcasts like we do too,
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of things, but I mean, again, free Facebook, Instagram, you can post on there whatever you want to post, right? Well, within reason, but you know, so those are available to you to put ads
So,
out there.
yeah, speaking about the ads, so not just are we posting an ad anymore, but we're posting videos. I mean, is that why we get sucked into our phones, you guys? I mean, think about it. Right before bed or when you're watching a boring TV show, you're grabbing your phone and you're going on TikTok and looking at videos. Some of them have me laughing in tears. I'm actually crying laughing, and now I am sending them to friends. I used to hate it when my friends would like clutter my phone with all of this TikTok, all these videos and Instagram videos. But now I find myself doing it. I'm not addicted to it, but I do look at some of these ads and videos on TikTok. So when you're doing videos or your business out there and content, you have to capture the audience. It has to be quick, short, not too lengthy. And if you did make a really long one, there is another social media or another, I'm sorry, app that breaks up the video in segments and adds the words that, pop up on it that talk about what you're talking about. And it's called Opus. And I just learned of it yesterday. And it's only like $15 a month. And it gives you a certain amount of videos a month so you can be consistent in your marketing. And then all you have to do is upload it into Instagram or Facebook. And I'm going to do mine today, actually, because I'm so excited that I learned this yesterday. So
Cool. You
that
got
is a
something you can teach me.
very inexpensive to do a video like a professional or like what you're looking at online already. You
Right.
could do it too, you guys. Give me a call
One
and I'll
thing,
I'll
one thing
share
I
that.
want to mention, right, on the social media, if you're marketing B2B, right, business to business, LinkedIn is where you need to be. If you're marketing to customers, then Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are the better platforms for you. Right, and don't forget, if you got a blog, you can throw a blog in there, a post as well, or a snippet of your podcast, whatever the case might be, right? So those are definitely good things that you can easily do, and it's not going to cost you anything.
That's right.
Moving into real quick, I'm just going to talk about SEO for 30 seconds, right? Because this is such a big topic. But SEO is search engine optimization, and that's basically building your website so that it conforms to policies and procedures for Google and Bing and so on and so forth. And the goal is to get you to the top of the list, because there's so many pages. If you're looking for plumbers, you're going to get 200 pages of local plumbers. So how do you get to the first page instead of the 15th page? Because no one's going to look at the 15th page. Um, that is, SEO is a topic all in itself, but it's very convoluted, very detail orientated. But a lot has changed, and what people think SEO today is completely different than what it was 3 years ago.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
And
When you,
just beware of all the companies that are trying to say, I'm going to improve your SEO, pay for this, pay for that. Yeah.
yes, don't. Anybody who
Run.
tells you, hey, I do SEO and I can get you to the 15,000 customers in 2 days, they're lying to you.
Saying you could do it yourself organically. Like I said, having your customers leave you a review with the keywords in it. You could create
You
SEO yourself.
you can create some of it, absolutely. There's some that you got to tie in the back end of the website and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, there's a lot that you could do to eliminate some of the heavy lifting.
Creating a lot of followers on your Instagram and Facebook and having people leave comments, SEO creates the
Right.
algorithm to pop up.
Definitely.
And they tell you that on Yelp too. So if you're clicking on a business on Yelp, then that Yelp or that business will move to the top. So that's why
Yes.
you want your customers to look you up on Yelp or have your family look you up a couple times a week.
I personally don't like Yelp because they nickel and dime you and try to charge you for everything.
I
But
don't
that's
pay
that's
for
just me.
any of it. I just do the
Yeah.
free. But that's
Well,
kind of going out the window, Yelp anyway.
we have a few
That's my
minutes left, so let's finish up. Um, Really, when should you invest, right? And how much should you invest in your marketing, right? So, as we already talked about, having an optimized sales funnel is key, right? You got to find customers somewhere. How do you find them, Lisa?
by putting out good content on the social media. It takes, some creativity and
Mhm.
definitely see. So and also having the lead capture system where you're getting their contact information and then you're doing your due diligence and following up with them. That's where the break happens is we get these leads and we don't follow up because we get busy running the business. So that's very
Yeah.
important. I just want to drill that home because I manage a sales team and I'm like, you need to make the calls. Please make your
Yes.
calls. Yep.
Well, and let's talk about touches for a second, right? Because you'd mentioned this many, many times in this podcast and touching the customers and stuff like that. So, Marketing 101 states um, a customer is not going to recognize you or your company until they've seen you several times. Typically, it's 7 times before they go, "Oh, Lisa Manifold. Oh, Barry Best Pitch." You know, but that's just them recognizing you, right? They're actually not going to reach out to you until they see you another 5 more times or so. So they're going to have to see your name or something, a video or something, at least 12 times before they actually think about, hey, I like this. I want to reach out to them.
Right.
So the more content you get out there, the better, right?
Yeah, that's why you definitely want to do those videos 3 to 4 times a week. You want to at
Oh,
least mail to people once a month and you want to have an email campaign and you need to pick up the phone. So definitely.
hello, anybody there? Oh. So I know we're not on video yet, so but I was holding my hand up, pretending it was a phone. Um, Anyways, so the other thing that you need to be cognizant to the fact is as your marketing goes and your customer base goes, if it starts to plateau, right, then that's where you need to start investing again and doing a little bit more marketing so that you can get some extra traffic in.
Right. And so, once you start seeing that business come in, then maybe you could put a little bit more money into your budget of marketing. But there are some low cost ones on Facebook with, Google ads and remarketing those and having that, go out on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Facebook is
Let's
like,
talk. Let's talk about remarketing for a second, right? Because remarketing is something that it's a keyword used in the marketing industry, but um, really you want to take um, a couple different ads of the same thing and throw them out there and see which one is really working for you, right? And then when you do that, then you've got 3 of them out there, let's say. One of them's really taken off like firecrackers and the other 2 are duds. Obviously, you're going to drop those other 2 and just focus on the one that's working. So that's really, really key to understanding. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I'm so busy. I just got one ad, I'll throw it out there, and either it works or it doesn't work. Then I move on to the next. And I've gotten, honestly, I personally have gotten lackadaisical about some of the stuff that you and I have been doing just because I've been so busy. So, I need an assistant.
Right.
So how much should you spend per day, right? On the low side, $5-10 a day is okay, or a week, But as things start to progress, you obviously want to expand that budget.
Yeah. So, do what's comfortable for you. Don't overspend.
Right. And then one of the key things is understand the keywords, right? The keywords are going to be instrumental in your Google ads, in your SEO and stuff like that. For instance, you and I, with InvestQuire, we're business brokers. We sell and buy businesses. So keywords for us are going to be commercial, real estate, businesses for sale, things like that, right? That pertain to our business. And Google actually has a keyword search engine that you can go in and look at keywords and see where they rank, so that you can pick out the better keywords and stuff like that. I'll put a link to it.
Yes, that's
in
free
our Facebook group.
That's right. Do a little research so that you're advertising smartly.
Yes, definitely so.
Well,
All
that's
right,
a wrap.
anything else we want to get out there, Lisa?
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Covered all
right.
the basics. Of course, you can go way into one of those marketing areas in depth, but that's what we're here for. If you need help with it, give us a call, and we can certainly set up a time to discuss, what areas that you feel like you want to focus on, so that we could build that up for you and get more busy.
Absolutely. So you can reach us at our Facebook group at The Biz Show. You also can reach Lisa and I at investquire.com. And we are here to help you the best that we can.
That's right. Make it a great day, everybody. Go get that business.
All right, guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.